Hi, I'm Ronnie from Ronnie's Garage. Welcome to our monthly tech meet for the Rolls-Royce Owners Club of Southern California. And today I'm going to make a battery hold down here. The reason I'm doing this is because one of our club members called me up the other day and asked me what size battery goes in my Silver Cloud. And I said, well, a group 27F. And just to clarify, the 27 is the body size, I think. The F has to do with the post orientation. A normal group 27 battery will have the positive on the near side, on the left, and the negative on the right. 27F just has a reverse posts. So that has to do with the way the battery's oriented in the car and where the ground and the hot cable are. So he went down and got himself a 27F, took the battery hold down off his car and went, oh no. So it didn't fit. Same width. So someone had put the smaller battery in. Probably, what I usually run across is they'll call AAA and they'll fail the battery with their little iPhone-sized battery tester, which is, to me, bullshit. They will sell you a battery. Now, they're not going to stock hundreds of sizes of batteries. They're going to sell you what they have. And hopefully they give you enough cranking amps. The Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud, if it has an original starter in it, likes to take a lot of juice. That's those starters, even when they're up to notch, they will crank slow. So this one, I use Interstate. You can use any kind you like. This is their heavy duty. It's cold cranking amps is 710. Cranking amp CA, which I'm not sure that is 890. A lot of these smaller batteries, they do have high capacity cranking, but you run into the problem with the battery not fitting in the box right, and then they have all these plastic gizmos you stick under them and space it and all that. I prefer to start with the right size. So this clever club member decided he'd make his own battery hold down, which, in his defense, I think he did a pretty good job. He just got some aluminum channel, and what he did was he measured it, obviously. He cut, it looks like he cut 45 or 90 degree V's in it and bent it in the corners, and then he jointed it here, and he used JB Weld, which is a metal epoxy, which, for this purpose, will probably work just fine. Only because it's not a super high stress. It's just supposed to hold the battery down to keep it from bouncing out, which is not going to go far. Plus also where he jointed it, he planned to put this thing on here to where the battery hold down bolt goes through. So in a way that's going to reinforce it. It's got a backing, so any stress it's going to have is here, and it's going to kind of hold it together. So bravo for JB Weld and in your garage stuff. I prefer to make things a little more stout. So what I do is I use steel. I use this 90 degree steel. I think it's 3/4 inch. Let's see here. Yeah, it's 3/4 inch, 90 degree. I cut these to 7 inch. They go on the ends. And then I take 3/4 inch just strap steel and I cut it to 12.5 inches. So it's going to go out to there, right? 2 of those. And then for the hold downs, what I'm going to do is out here is I'm just going to weld a little tab on there. So that's how I do it. I can weld it up and we'll see what it looks like. So this is just a, what do they call it? This is a MIG welder. And you can buy these pretty cheap at Harbor Freight for most home use. It uses a gas. The reason for the gas is to displace atmospheric air from the weld spot so that it will stick better and keep out impurities. I forget what this is. This is an argon mix, I think, right? Yeah, 75% argon, 25% carbon dioxide. The welder itself, let's see if I can open up the side. It's a MIG welder and it has a wire feed. So what happens is you have your grounding tab, which you go to the table, it's a metal table, and then you have this welding trigger. And what happens, let's see, when you pull the trigger, it's going to apply the voltage so that you can get your arc, but it also feeds out wire. And if you watch this, it feeds wire. So a normal arc welder, you will hold a stick and you will get your arc and you'll start to feed it in, and it'll get shorter and shorter and shorter, and then you got to stop. This you can just keep on going, but you want to stop every once in a while anyway, so you don't overheat things and warp everything. If you want to watch, you can see that thing's feeding the wire through, right? All right. So this is not so I'm Lawrence of Arabia. The reason I put this towel on here is because I do a lot of TIG welding with small aluminum parts. So when I put my head down, this auto darkening thing senses the light from behind and gets all screwed up. So that's why I do that. And I can't see that well. So if you do production, you will make a jig that holds all your pieces in place so you can do your welding real quickly. I'm just gonna tack weld these in position, and they'll hopefully be pretty square. But, heat. What about all this fuel over here? Didn't stick, did it? These are handy vice grips for doing welding and stuff. What's that?
It's a little stronger and quicker than JB.
Well, yeah. Have to wait overnight. The stick is away from me. It's a little warped. I didn't have a jig.
Check and straight.
Huh?
Send it over and check and straight.
I usually like to hose them down. I'm going to cool it down real quick. Here's the finished product after all this burned eyes and ambulance is taking everybody away. Like I said, I welded these tabs on, which are for the hold downs. And the original one has a rubber strip here on both sides, and that's to prevent arcing across here. That'll work just fine, just like Steve or the club member did. That'll work just fine too. It's important that you watch your placement here, because this is over here. This might pose a little bit of a problem with the cable getting on all the way. A lot of these batteries, hold downs are gone for two reasons: rotting, and then people putting different size batteries on. Because if you try to put a smaller battery, it's not going to hold it down. It's going to slip right over it. And you can, if you want to make it all pretty, you can grind these weld spots down until they're nice and smooth, paint it, have it powder coated, whatever you like. And that's one way of getting out of the trying to find an original one. This, I believe, is an original style battery hold down bolt. Somebody has bent it to try. This is the other one that was on the car, right? This was on the car. So this is an all thread 1/4 inch bolt that somebody just put a U in. Now on the frame of the car there are two tabs with holes in them, and the tabs are actually made so that this doesn't just hook into it, but it's supposed to go in it, and it has like an S shape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this back the way it's supposed to be, since you're not going to use it, right, Steve?
No.
So that way you guys can all see. There's nothing wrong with the all thread, but the reason they don't have, I believe, a hook in it is because it'll fall out as soon as you disconnect it. Normally these will not fall out if you disconnect them. Hopefully it's not going to snap. It's old steel. Almost looks like they cut it there. That's more like the shape it's supposed to be. See that?
Like an S.
Yeah, like an S. So it'll go into the hole, feed itself, and then all it's going to do is just do this. It's very unlikely it's going to flip over and fall out. And that'll go up to here. Now on the Cloud they also have a plastic cover with the little plastic wing nut type things that hold it on. So there you go. That's a
What does the plastic cover hook onto? You see when?
I think there are studs here. There are studs on the battery mount. So if you want to go that far, then you can mount some studs in here. And then it has the wing nut. It's like a half nut that only goes certain far. You screw it down to a certain point to where when you turn it, it'll hold it. I don't have one of those covers here.
I've
so
never
I can't
seen
show
one.
you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All righty. Any questions?
Nicely done.
All right. Cool. Sayonara.